it is smart and it has heart, so yeah, it's rhymed perfectly.
That may not have been a coincidence.
Oh yeah. So now you need to build a study habit and a schedule that is according to your objectives and your resources. So, for example, you can have like just in your workbook, which is I'm gonna write here on the comments. .com/just live. That's what you need to click to get the text, the workbook. You can fill this table. So I already write the target area, which one are you going to use for your vocabs, your speaking, your writing.
And we would usually use fill out.
Fill out, yes. Fill out this table there, print that text, definitely print that workbook, and write down what are the methods that you are going to do. And if you want to share it with me, I will definitely would like to read your goal. Send it to me via DM. That's completely
normal.
I would love that. Yes. So when you have like that schedule that you build in step 4, now it's the time to maintain the schedule. So I use Google Calendar for everything.
Yes.
Like anything. So this is how I do for my Google Calendar. The first things is I always put the place or the link or the app name first, so that like if I'm in a hurry, I'm just gonna go there and I know where should I go, what link should I click, what app should I open. And so place first and then activity. So the time is like the time that I'm committed to do this activity, and then kind of put like the frequency. So I put like the frequency, and then I create notification depending on the activity. Usually when it's about learning language, I just put a 10-minute in advance notification. But when it's like a big event, something like I'm gonna attend somebody's live, I also add like 1 day notification as an email, so that I am going to be thinking about it the day before. And if you don't have internet at home, you can always use your phone alarm. It always work.
That, and you can change your phone alarm to have, you can change those to have names too. So you can have the, maybe more like the activity name. Though you can't, as far as I know, the alarms, you can't have links or anything on there, but you can put some of this information as the name of the alarm.
Yeah, definitely. So, for example, it's going to be like my Duolingo for vocabulary practice, and then I'm going to put like this is the time, and I'm going to repeat it every day and pop up notification 10 minutes in advance. And here is the thing. When you are doing like Google Calendar or alarm, and you know that like there is a very big reason that you are not going to be able to do it like the next day, you need to cancel that event. Why? Because you want to train your brain to think that every time that you see that notification, you are going to click on it and do. And not something like you see that and then you didn't click on it because you know that you are not going to be able to do it because you are in a meeting or something like that. So, can't attend the event, cancel it.
And one other thing here, because this is just about how Google Calendar works. When you click on this the first time, you would type in the time right here, and this part right here that says doesn't repeat, you would click on that, and then it would say like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and you would click on the days to have it repeat every day. And you can even have it go for like the next 3 months, or have it repeat until a certain date. And so there's a lot of options you can do with a Google Calendar. similar to, you can do it with an alarm clock too. It just takes a little bit more work.
Yeah, and you can also add guests.
Yeah, so if you're doing it with somebody, like we do Duolingo together, and so she has us on here and she adds me as a guest to that Duolingo.
Yes. So we both got the notifications. And number 6 is you need to get feedback from qualified individuals.
Doesn't mean that they have to have a degree.
Yes, definitely. Qualified means they speak the language that you want to learn better than you. And they're actually speaking the exact dialects.
This would be almost like a mentor, right?
Yes. So you can ask yourself what kind of what online or in-person language clubs can you join right now? I know that Mamelasu High School, they have an online language club that is on Messenger. So they are using voice message to communicate, and I think that's a really good one. But there may be also some in-person event that is near you, and that's very good way to get feedback from the mentors, but also see other people that are in the same level as you, and that's very empowering. And we used to go to English Connections. And there are some native speakers like Antonio who would be helping people.
Yeah, there were a couple of native speakers that would go there, but mostly people who just transferred into the school from a different country, and the teacher would be there, and they would tell us. The teacher would tell us about popular culture, things that we talk about a lot in the United States. For instance, in Madagascar, you guys talk a lot more about the unexplained being witches and witchcraft. In America, the unexplained tends to be more UFOs and mythical creatures, but not witchcraft. So for instance, one of the mythical creatures that we talk about here is Sasquatch, which is this big, furry man. It's kind of like a man the size of a bear and covered in fur. If you look online for the word Sasquatch, and maybe you can type that into the comments, but if you
Let me see.
Oh yeah, it's not a word that Ans knows how to...
That's pretty close. I'm just gonna be... okay.
Yeah, so this is something that's just a...
I did it right, though.
Yeah. So this is something that's more in the native language, and that we would talk about in these things where you can learn about, what will be spoken in English. Maybe you just... Here, I can type it over here.
Yes.
Excuse me. Go close.
Yes. Yeah, it's Sasquatch. It's already on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So, the next thing would be find a conversation ask if you can find a conversation partner. And one of the things that I really, really want to talk to people is don't ask a person who is with the same level as you to be a conversation partner. That's a totally bad idea. A conversation partner has to be someone that is better at that language than you do. Somebody who can provide meaningful and true feedback. It's better to not have a conversation partner than have a wrong one. You can have a study buddy, which is going to be the guy who is gonna watch movies with you, but you guys are gonna watch movies and you guys gonna practice together, but don't correct each other.
A conversation partner, if having them be more advanced than you, they will not avoid certain topics. For instance, when she came here, didn't know how to talk about like a lot of the holidays or weather events. Like, you still refer to things as cyclones, but here in America we would refer to them as hurricanes and tropical storms. But a conversation partner, if you guys both speak English at the same level or the language at the same level, you're going to both avoid difficult topics to talk about because you both don't know how to do that, and it's hard to ask questions about things that you don't know how to say. So a conversation partner is going to be able to ask you those words, and they're going to be able to steer the conversation, and they're going to be able to push you to talk about things that you wouldn't normally say. Because as far as a native speaker goes, they're not going to have any of these restrictions either. So you're going to have to know how to do these one way or the other. It's just, are you going to be prepared? And so this conversation partner, you want them to know more so they can help you get to that next level of preparation.
Yeah, and I already read about this, but you can't ask somebody randomly on the street to be your conversation partner. Usually conversation partner are from like volunteer for some organization. So Better Tomorrow Global, they have that programs. I don't know if it's still going on. I see it's still going on for something like someplace like Tuamasin, where native speakers from all around the world volunteer through them, and they take like a very few students. So conversation partners, they are volunteer, they are not getting paid to do that, and they also only volunteer for that specific organization, and they will only be able to get like maybe 1 or 2 students or learner at the same time. And you don't ask people to be your free conversation partner. If you want to, you can hire an English tutor, like that's okay, but you just don't ask to be a conversation partner because it's a very big time commitment, and it needs to be something that they are volunteering to do.
Yeah, it would be like, I don't know what you had to do. You had a conversation partner for a little bit
From the school.
Yeah, but that was for a couple hours a week.
1 hour a week.
1 hour a week. Yeah, which it doesn't sound like a lot, but I know that they had to come up with questions and figure out what they would talk to you about. They would go to, I think they would take you to coffee or something.
Yeah, they have, the school gives them like the list of topic that we need to talk about, but they are free to bring me like wherever cool places that she went to bring me. That was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are volunteers.
Yeah.
And the next one is which one of my friends are more advanced speakers. And as I say, don't ask them to be your conversation partner, but ask them to correct you when you are speaking. So it's like, just say, I am learning a language right now and I want to practice it. But if you catch me doing something incorrect, just tell me. I did that when I was preparing for my VEST test. I told my advisor, who is a native speaker, and I told my academic sibling, who is also a native speaker, I just say, hey, I'm preparing for the VEST test, and it's very important for me to be able to keep my teaching assistantship here. Can you just correct me every time that I do wrong?
And you also have me.
Yeah.
You asked me a long time ago too and that's why every once in a while when you mispronounce a word, then I will say this word. Like when you said heart,
Yeah.
I corrected that one.
And as you see, this is a live. This is not scripted, and you see me doing some mistakes sometimes, but you can still understand me. So yeah, don't be afraid of like stumbling or making mistakes. Just speak. The more you speak, the more people can catch your mistakes, and the more they can correct you.
Yeah, when you first came here and you really didn't want to speak very much at all, like someone would ask you a question and then you would just go, and then you might say half a sentence and then wait a little bit and say another half a sentence while you were thinking of the words. But yeah, as you learn English and talk to other native speakers and someone else, they'll push you to get that, to think of the words more quickly and more fluently. And those people can hopefully also help you correct anything that you were saying in English. Because I know you learned to read English and then use your native language to pronounce them. And the rules are very random for English as far as pronunciation.
Yeah.
And two words can be written the exact same way but pronounced in very different ways. And so you kind of have to pick it up from context about what is being said. But if it was spoken, you would be able to get a better idea. Anyway, there's also a lot of words that you would be pronouncing differently. It's very, very helpful to get an idea of like, okay, these words I'm not pronouncing correctly. And that's what people who speak the language more, especially a native speaker, will be able to pick up on very easily. Even being more advanced, they may not be able to pick up on some of these mispronunciations.
Yeah.
For instance, you can't help your son Fanambi pronounce a lot of English because you make the same mispronunciations that he does.
Yeah, so definitely.
But I can hear those mispronunciations and I have to jump in on the conversation. But okay, you guys need to stop talking. This is how you say this.
Yeah, definitely. So number 7 is you can also get feedback from professional apps and challenge yourself. So I have been using Hilsa for a very
long time.
There are also a year, maybe 2 years.
A year and a half. You've been here for a little over 2 years. But.
Yeah. So I use Elsa, but there are also other languages that can give you feedback. I didn't try them, but they have like free trials, so you don't lose anything if you are gonna be doing those.
And a lot of those ones where they're speech analyzers, audio quality when they do speech analyzing is not always the best, so you may still be pronouncing it correctly, or maybe not, but they're the next best thing to a native speaker. Don't get too frustrated with it, but try to pronounce it the way that they say. If you can, learn the phonetical language. There's a way of pronouncing things, a way of spelling words phonetically. I don't remember what it is, but we don't usually use this in English, but there's a phonetical alphabet.
Yeah.
And you can see the phonetical spelling of a word, and that will tell you exactly how to pronounce the word. Each sound in the language has a letter in the phonetical alphabet, and they're put together. And if you can learn how to say the phonetical alphabet in the language that you're learning, that is a huge step forward.
Definitely. And all of those links are in the workbook. So these are like challenges and competitions that you can do, and when you are doing those challenges, practicing for them will make you like will give you a lot of momentum. So like don't get like really sad when you are not winning. It's like you needed to build momentum and to like do a targeted practice, so you can see if you can do some like slam poetry competitions or some public speaking competitions, and your some speech and debates, or like those 3 minute thesis competitions. And you are not there to win, you are there to participate. So do as much as you can and go there. And even by you just standing out in front of people and speaking with that language that you didn't know before, that's a win for yourself. So whether you win the prize or not, you are winning.
I'll say slam poetry and 180-second thesis. Those two, you can get some people who are very articulate when they speak. Not only do they speak very clearly, but they also are very good communicators. And so listening to these people can teach you how to pronounce and speak the language in a very clear way. Those people, even native English speakers will say, that guy or that girl, they know how to speak English very well, and I am impressed. A native English speaker can be impressed by how well another native English speaker speaks. And that happens a lot in these things like slam poetry and 180-second thesis, because people put the time and effort into being very articulate.
Yeah.
Those are ones that even I can tell they're native speakers, but then I am still impressed by how well they speak.
Definitely.
So even if you're not just talking in them, even just listening to those is still a huge help.
Yeah, there is there is a Facebook page that I really love to listen to poetry. So I'm just gonna write this here, and I'm gonna put the name on the
Button poetry.
Yeah, it's Button Poetry. It's really good. This is the name. They have both a Facebook page and a YouTube page. Button Poetry, and it should be customize, show for 30 seconds, time it off, set and show. So yeah, Button Poetry. You should be able to see it right now.
It's showing you.
Yes, it's really, really good. My favorite poets that I saw from Button Poetry is Sarah Kite. That was really, really good. She has
that was Sarah Kite.
Sarah Kite. That's it. That's
Sarah
her name.
Kai.
Yeah.
Sarah K.
Sarah K. Okay. Sarah K. Yeah, everything that she's gonna be posting, I will be reading. I will be watching. It's that good. So I'm gonna put the name here. Yeah, that's it.
Sarah K.
Sarah K.